Sure.
Hey everyone, John Pinecker with Mojave Valley Daily News. Welcome into the Huddle.
Whoa, that was scary.
Startled you?
That was a little bit scary.
Matt Hanrahan from Barron Solutions, Pest Solutions, Pool.
All press is good press. You can
Services.
say anything you want right now. People are still thinking about the word Barron.
All kinds of Barron stuff. Just look up Barron. And this is the Huddle. We're going to be talking about all of the football games that are the NFL games that are happening this weekend. Starting, we're filming this on Wednesday, so tomorrow morning at 10:30 is the first game. That is the Bears-Lions game. Packers.
You just can't get that out of here.
I can't. Bears-Lions game. So get up early and watch the mighty Chicago Bears face the almost as mighty Detroit Lions.
Is that 10:30 our time?
10:30 our time.
10:30 our time.
Yeah.
That's Arizona time is our time. Right.
Yeah, because
Not
if you're
Nevada,
watching
not
this in Bangladesh, it's not 10:30. It's whatever.
You don't know what time it is in Bangladesh right now?
I do not.
Oh, that's weird. Work for a newspaper, you think you know all the
You
time
think
zones
you would
everywhere
know
across
everywhere
the
in the
world.
world.
Right. All
Right.
right. That's okay.
So as I said, it's Wednesday morning. It's early, and I have already had my fill of Matt.
I've been here 5 minutes. It's pretty good.
Which is why I'm not part of the Sunrise Rotary Club. Is that
That's one of the many reasons.
And I wouldn't want to join a club that would have me as a member anyway.
That's true. That makes no sense, but okay.
All right, so we are going to go through all the NFL games. We're going to start with there's two teams on bye this week: the Cardinals and the Chiefs, two of the better teams in the NFL. So that that's not
very sad about that.
That's bad, but we get to make up for it by talking about the Bears at the Lions.
Yes, we do.
What an awesome game! And not only the Bears and the Lions. The Lions, you could say, are one of the worst teams in the NFL, one of the two or three maybe worst teams in the NFL.
You could say that.
The Bears have been, they're average, I guess.
Right.
But they do not have Justin Fields.
Correct.
So,
and Detroit doesn't have their quarterback either.
Jared Goff, yeah.
Right, Jared Goff.
They said he may come back.
Oh, really? Okay. All right,
but if not, you get the great Tim Boyle.
He's a phenomenal backup quarterback, if you don't know about Tim Boyle.
Yes, so...
Yeah, I think both backups this week, right? Dalton's really the backup now, and Boyle's the backup.
Yeah, they said that he's going to be the guy. So we have, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is the perfect game to have on at 10:30 in the morning because you're working on your turkey.
I would agree.
And you're
you don't have to pay attention.
You can hear it in the background, but you're not really invested in it.
Just like every Detroit Lions Thanksgiving game since 1934.
I'm sorry, Lions, but.
Is it time to get rid of the Lions off of?
It is. We talked about this before we came on. In Europe, there's a soccer league where you can bounce the worst team every year. So the team that finishes last every year gets moved to a different league. You suggested 14 teams.
Yes. Yeah, just have 17 teams in the league so that the Cardinals could play just 17 games, and they wouldn't need anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and then you could get rid of 14, which you'd start with Detroit.
You absolutely start.
You probably could start with the entire division that Detroit's in. Let me see who's in that division. There's Detroit. There's Green Bay in that division.
They are.
Green Bay is in that division.
Yeah.
No, we can't get rid of Green Bay.
Thank you.
We can't get rid of Green Bay.
All right, so
there's nothing to say about this
terrible game, right?
It is going to be a terrible game.
The only thing is that they recommended doing the under. It's 41.5.
I would recommend doing the under too. Can you score negative points? Is that possible?
Go bet the under on, I don't care who you pick to win. Bears are 3.5-point favorites. Go bet the under.
Yeah, I would agree. And go bet the Bears to win because there's no way Detroit's winning this game. You know they have a losing record on Thanksgiving Day.
And yet they still get marched out there every year.
Just because they started the tradition, whatever. It shouldn't be the Detroit Lions anymore.
It shouldn't be.
We
can start new traditions. The new tradition is Detroit, until you get over 500 for 2 years in a row, you are banned from Thanksgiving games.
Will never return.
Did you pick the Bears?
I picked the Bears.
So did I.
Okay.
Bills at the Saints. This is the night game tomorrow. I think the other one is the Raider game, and we'll talk about that when we get to Raider time. So there's three games tomorrow, 12:30. I think the other one's like the Raiders, Cowboys are like 3:30 or 4 or something like that. And then the Bills are tomorrow night at 6:20.
Right. Get that dinner break between the two.
Yeah. This should be a fun game, right? Bills and Saints?
Yeah, I think the whole Thursday should be fun, except for maybe the first one. So
yes,
maybe. It could be like an exciting 3-0 game. But yeah, I think Bills and Saints will be a really good game.
All right. So Saints, the last 3 weeks have looked terrible. The Bills, I mean, last week, actually 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they just have not played well.
They played terrible against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then last week. But the Bills are the better team here.
Yeah, I think so. I think with Simeon still struggling to figure it out, with Kamara still injured, not 100%. Yeah, I think Buffalo has to get off that schneid eventually. Doing it in New Orleans could be tough, but I think they're clearly the better team.
Yeah. Josh Allen has been kind of, earlier in the year he was just world beater, and people were talking MVP possibility, and just like they did at the end of last year. And then over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if they figured out his scheme or if he's just, I don't know, maybe he had some bad soup.
Could have had some bad soup. That's an idea I haven't heard yet. So
well,
that's
I'm just
very impressive. Yeah. No, I think maybe it's more so because they don't have a run game. I'm thinking football terms rather than Campbell's soup or whatever soup you're into. Yeah, no run game, right? So they can't figure out the run game. Everything's on Josh Allen. He's got to throw. He's got to run. It's got to be on their defense. I think if they can balance things out a little bit more, which they have the running backs to do it, I just think they rely on Josh Allen too much, and that forces them into mistakes.
Yeah. My thing about Josh Allen, and I think he's awesome, my thing about him is that when you look at MVP caliber quarterbacks, you don't look at them for necessarily, when I do, I look at him as, I don't care what the weapons are out there, he's making it happen.
Sure.
There are some quarterbacks here, and I believe that Josh Allen is one, where they have to have studs out there in order for them to be successful. If Aaron Rodgers or Brady or Mahomes, or these guys lose people all the time and they just figure it out.
Right.
Josh Allen, to me, is not that guy yet. If he loses these guys, now it's, all right, I have this guy, and if he's not open, I have to take off. And that kind of concerns me.
I think that happens with a lot of running quarterbacks, right? It's not, you're talking about, you name people like Rodgers and Brady who, Rodgers can run, and I get that. It's not his first thought. But I think maybe you're right, and Josh Allen's first thought is, it's not there, go. It's not there, go. And I don't know if I so much agree with the fact that he has to have the weapons. He's still a young quarterback. He's still learning really to play the NFL game. He didn't come out of an NFL-ready team out of Wyoming. So it's taken him some time, and maybe he puts too much on his shoulders, and maybe that's what it is.
And maybe the early success maybe went to his head because he was successful last year, at the half of last year and the beginning of this year. And maybe
Could be. I still say he's top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no doubt.
insane.
Oh, really?
Totally insane.
Okay, so name me just on the spot, Rooka, because I know we have time.
Okay.
Name me 3 quarterbacks that are clearly better than Josh Allen.
Okay. Well, Aaron Rodgers.
Homer. Okay, I'll give you that one.
I would say Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Although I'm not real happy with the way he looks through 9 different progressions now.
Okay.
I would say. All right. Yeah. Well, let's move on
3
to
or 4 somewhere in there. So I like the Bills here.
Obviously, Brady is there.
Brady, yeah. That's what I say. 3 or 4 somewhere in that conversation.
You know what? You're right. I'll give you that one. Oh, that
so
hurts.
where are you going on this one? You going Buffalo? You going
yeah,
Giants?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah, I like Buffalo too.
Yeah. It's hard to predict a lot of these games because we got whooped last week.
Yeah, it's a great week of games though. There's a lot of close games this week.
But you look at it and you go, Bills are the better team. Yeah, but the Bills didn't play good enough the last 2 out of the last 3 weeks, and the Saints haven't looked good for 3 weeks. And
no, 3 weeks ago this would have been the game of the week.
Yeah.
Right now it's a could be the game of the week type of thing.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Steelers at the Bengals. I was reading today that division is the only division where every team is 500 or better.
Can we go back just a step? You said you were reading today? Are you
somebody
a reader?
read me
that's
something.
What I thought. So Maria kind of just read the newspaper to you? Is that what happened?
I don't know why you can't just let things go.
Because it's like a lob. It's like
Here's
how hard
the pitch.
can you hit that? Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's gone. So Steelers at the Bengals. The Steelers are another one of these, really look good, really look bad. They got whomped by the Chargers last week.
Yeah, they did. I mean, in reality, maybe the scoreboard didn't show that, but they did.
Well, it was, 18 points or 16 points, something like that. They gave up 41 to the Chargers, which Chargers are a good team, but they're not 20 points better than the Steelers.
Not normally,
I didn't think.
No. Not normally.
And then the Bengals the same way. The Bengals look like world beaters, and the next week it's like, this might be rough. Now they've had some injuries, so I mean, as everybody has now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Steelers. We still don't know what's going on with T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Joe Hayden. 3 guys that you kind of need on the defense.
A little bit.
So maybe that's part of it. I really, if they don't have those guys back there, especially for me, Joe Hayden, not T.J. Watt as much, but Joe Hayden. If they don't have those guys back there, I really see the Chargers being able to just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked several times over the last few weeks about this is one of those weird years where what do you get from every team? Like the up and down and up and down. No one has really, except for a few teams, has really been consistent
Right?
week
There's
to week
three
to
or
week.
four teams that you can count every week.
Correct. Cardinals. I can't think of anybody else, to be honest with you. But here's the thing for this game for me is, I hate saying it, but Joe Mixon has looked great. I mean, I'm not a big fan of his game, but for some reason, whatever it is, whether it be Burrow's strength, whether it be the offensive line improvement, he's rushing the ball tremendously. It's a huge reason why Cincinnati's playing so well. Pittsburgh's defense is not Pittsburgh's defense. The game's in Cincinnati. It just seems to me like there's finally a turning of the tide in that division. I really feel like Cincinnati is starting to really establish themselves as what could be the dominant team in a really, really tough division. I don't think Pittsburgh can stop Mixon. I like the way Burrow's playing. It's a game that could go either way, but I just see Cincinnati beating up on them a little bit again.
So yeah, it was 24-7 when they played earlier this year.
Right.
Cincinnati won that pretty easily. I don't know that it'll be that easy.
No,
again,
probably not.
It's hard to beat a division team twice in the same year. But do you think that Mixon is responsible for quarterback Burrow's success, or Burrow's is responsible because of his skills?
Yeah.
Opening it up.
So I'm old school. I mean, to me, it's the running game. That's what wins games, right? So if you've got a running game, if you're able to establish that, it makes everybody look better, not just your quarterback. So, but again, that's more than just a running back. That's an offensive line. That's a scheme. That's and then you add Jamar Chase into the mix, and they've got weapons. Their tight ends are playing well. They're a good team.
Yeah, so you have a team over here that's loaded, and you have a team over here that's injured or traded away or cut or whatever.
Right, and still learning how to play together with different players, and nobody looks the same, and Ben's getting older and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so you got the Bengals?
I got the Bengals.
Me too.
Perfect.
Hey, we made it through the whole page. We're on
That's very impressive.
We're on the same page.
That's very impressive. We're on the same page, on the same page.
On the same page. All right, Sunday. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Indianapolis Colts.
Some great games this week.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, Wisconsin boy.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Averaging, in the last 3 weeks, averaging 157.7 yards per game rushing.
He's the MVP of the league right now, right? I don't think anybody could argue with that. Right now, if you take a vote, he's the MVP.
So
that's a yes, by the way.
And Tampa Bay's got the league's best rushing defense.
Yeah, for sure.
78 yards a game or so.
Buffalo had top 5 rush defense going into last week. So I don't know. Is he that good? Is that offensive line for the Colts that good? I think they are.
I think they are too. I mean, that's one thing that they've always been good at is the big guys up front. They've always been good at putting together a good group there. But Brady does not lose to the Colts. So
you're going Buccaneers on this one?
I'm waiting.
You're waiting for me. I'm not going Buccaneers. I'm going to ride the Colts train until Christmas Day when they lose to the Cardinals. But I like the way that they're playing. I think if Carson Wentz can stay out of his own way, I think that this is a team that can truly contend. If you've got a rushing game the way they do, they're great coaching staff, a great scheme in play. They've got enough weapons at receiver with Pittman and a few others. I think this is one of those games where everybody's going to go Tampa, Tampa, Tampa because it's Tom Brady. But I think the Colts have an opportunity here to make even a bigger statement than they made over the last few weeks. And I think if they can run the ball against Tampa, which is always the case for the Colts, if they run the ball, they win the game. And I'm not a huge Tampa fan right now. I feel like they're struggling a little bit. I feel like, again, it's that identity thing and what are we going to do with the ball and who's in charge? Is it run? Is it pass? And they need to run the ball more, Tampa, and they haven't. So I like the Colts.
Well,
you're going to agree.
I agree. And here's why. I think that the formula to beat Brady and the Buccaneers, not Brady and the Patriots, but Brady and the Buccaneers has been established. Like you said, they haven't been playing great. I think people have seen that as a blueprint. I understand they have the best rush defense, but I think that part of that, and you always got to look at these stats and go, well, numbers don't lie. Yeah, they lie. Yeah. Because part of the reason why you're only giving up 78 yards a game is that Tampa Bay gets out to a fast start, and now you got to throw the ball. Correct. You got to abandon the running game. Mm-hmm. I think that the Colts chew up the clock, keep churning out first downs and long drives and keeping it out of Brady's hands. I think they get an early lead and just hold on through the rest of the game. Brady tries his comeback, but I think they fall short. I think the Colts win.
As much as it pains me, I agree with everything that you just said. Everything.
All right.
Everything that you just said.
Cut the mics, Chris. We're done.
Show's over.
Rest of the games, we're not worried about.
But if there's one game this week, that when you look at all these games, we're like, man, I'm going to pick that team, but the other one has a really good chance. This is that one because it's still Tom Brady, but I'm riding the Colts train. Okay. I like it.
Well, let's see if you believe that on this game.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
This game, that Buccaneers and Colts are the one where you say the closest could be that one, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
How about this one?
Another good one.
Titans at the Patriots. Okay, I understand the Titans lost to the Texans last week.
Right.
Who I think undoubtedly is the worst team in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I think the Lions are worse.
Are there?
Yeah. I think it's not even close. Well, with Tyrod Taylor back with Houston, I think it makes a difference for them. But yeah, I think push comes to shove, it's the Lions. You like that, huh? You wearing lion blue today, by the way?
I'm wearing lion blue.
The lion blue. I thought you were a Packers fan.
I am.
Okay, so you're rooting for the Lions then this week.
You know what? I don't believe that the color of shirt that I'm wearing will influence.
You don't think so, but you think wearing a Packers jersey does influence.
Well, yeah,
because it's the actual jersey.
Well, it's different. That's my emotional team. I don't have an emotional tie to the.
It's a good color on you, though.
To the Lions. Thank you.
Yeah.
It brings out my bald spot.
It does. We have great tops of our heads. Look
at
that. Between the two of us, that's very impressive. Yeah, we need something. I don't know.
All right. So Mac Jones has looked great. It seems to me every week he's getting better and better and better. I think the Patriots are looking real tough. The Titans, I wonder if I don't know if it's people adjusting to the fact that Derrick Henry isn't there, or if it's Tannehill trying to do too much, or what is causing the problems over there. But I think the Patriots just look good, and the Titans, I think, have said, hey, we're without our stud, so let's just kind of try and hold on and not ourselves.
I hope they wouldn't say that, wouldn't think that way, but it is true. I think there's a big piece of that's true. I think we talked about it a couple games ago, how important, the Colts game, how important the run game is, right? If you can run the ball, it makes everybody better. And when they lost Henry, whatever they felt, they couldn't find the piece to fix the run game. So what do? I got to rely on my quarterback. I got to rely on my defense. I got to rely on a scheme change. I got to do something different. They brought in Adrian Peterson. Well, that lasted, 2-3 weeks? He's gone now. They haven't been able to find a run game to replace Henry, which, again, I understand how great of a back Henry is, but when you got an offensive line the way they do, that's a big part of your run game. I almost feel like they've just given up on it. Not we don't have Henry, so we're just not going to run the ball now. I don't know why they've done that. They still have a great run-blocking offensive line. So
yeah, but you also have, if you're not engaged with that defensive lineman, and Derrick Henry comes running through there, he helps a little bit.
No, 100%. He's still a great running back. I think Mac Jones is playing better. I think New England's starting to figure it out. Belichick looks like a genius by letting everybody go and saying, I'm going to ride with the rookie. He reminds me a lot of, and hard to say, but reminds me a lot of a young Tom Brady, right? I mean, that's all everybody's talked about is here's a guy that won't lose you games, and he's just going to get better and better every single year, and he's doing it every single week this year. I don't know if I'm truly on that Patriots bandwagon, that they're as good as everybody thinks they might be, but I do like the Patriots in this game.
They're leading their division.
Yeah, but take that with a grain of salt.
6 weeks ago, we would have said, not a chance.
Right, just because of Buffalo, and that's it. Yeah. Right, nobody else. You wouldn't worry about anybody else. But you're right. It's definitely true. Even when the season started, they're going with Jones. Okay, they're going to go 6-11, and they'll just be good with rebuilding. Yeah. Hasn't happened, right?
I don't think Belichick is on board with the rebuilding thing.
No.
We're going to rebuild this week.
No, he looks like a genius. Especially, I love the talk beginning of the year. It was, is it Belichick or Brady, right? Like, who's the one that and then Tom started out so great. Oh, well, it's Tom. It's Tom.
You knew it all along.
And then knew it all right. It was always about Tom, not about Bill. And now look what's happening, right? Everything's switching a little bit. So I like New England this game. I think they're going to continue to get better. I think Tennessee can't figure it out. I don't say that they won't figure it out at some point in time, but they haven't figured it out yet. So I like New England here.
Yeah, I have to go New England too, and I hate that because I'm really looking for the point to where we can go, well, those couple of weeks were good, but they weren't,
Right.
they weren't playing the Titans, they weren't playing these guys, and now without having Henry back there, the Titans really aren't the Titans, and I think I've got to give the nod to the Patriots, and I don't know that they're gonna falter the rest. Not that they're not gonna lose, but that they're gonna. He just continues to get better and better and playing more intelligent every week. He doesn't make mistakes.
No. And their schedule is an advantage. Playing in that division is going to be a little bit of an advantage. And I hate to see Tennessee fall the way they have because I honestly feel like they're a top 4 or 5 team in the AFC, even without Derrick Henry. I think they've got enough weapons to be. They just haven't figured it out.
Yeah, and the Patriots' defense is good.
Yes, it's been good all year.
Yeah. All right, we haven't disagreed on the game yet.
We will.
Chargers at the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to disagree here.
I don't think so either. Yeah. You have Justin Herbert playing well. Like we said earlier, they put it on last week, Steelers, and I watched a little bit of that game, and I just lost interest because it was like they could just do whatever they wanted to do, and I want to watch something that's a little bit more competitive. You got Austin Eckler's playing great. And Denver is who we thought they were.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously they've got a great defense, and that's helping them throughout the year. This is to me is almost maybe an attempt at a shootout game, and I don't see Bridgewater winning a shootout.
Hanging with them?
Yeah, I don't see that happen. Do I see Denver staying close first half, 3 quarters because they can fall back on that defense a little bit. The Chargers have had issues being consistent, although every week it's been a little bit better. But I think if Denver's defense plays the game of the season, they got a chance here. But if not, there's just no offense there. They don't have the weapons. Bridgewater is not going to win you games. He never has been that quarterback.
No. Yeah, I agree. To me, he's Jameis Winston. Not as, oh my God, what kind of throw is that, Jameis Winston?
Right.
But just not, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take over this game and be the guy.
Right.
He's serviceable. He can make some crazy throws sometimes.
He's a game manager. You know, he's not going to win you a game. And the Chargers are the kind of offense that they win you games with their offense. And I just don't think Denver has enough defense to stop the Chargers. The thing that's frustrating about the Chargers is you look at both sides of the ball, and they just look like a good team, but yet they're not. The record doesn't really show it yet. It's that consistency. Maybe the young quarterback thing.
That's got to be it, right?
Change of offensive scheme this year a little bit. It's got to be all those things, but that just means they're going to get better and better each week, I would think. And so, this just isn't a game to me that Denver over 4 quarters can win. Maybe over 2 to 3 quarters, but push comes to shove, it's Chargers.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Broncos probably in the first half stick with them, but I think in the second half, I think the Chargers just pull away.
Yeah,
a pretty easy one for me.
We're going to need to disagree here pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just throw a game out just to be different than
this. May be the game.
Really?
The Rams at the Packers. Rams coming off a bye. Packers coming off a miserable performance against the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Packers had not given up any points in 6 quarters and then gave up 34, whatever it was, to the Vikings last week.
Yeah, it was weird, huh?
It was ugly. They played defensively, they played horribly. Aaron Rodgers went for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, whatever. But that was more of a scramble to make up for the defense playing so horribly.
Sure.
Now, defensively, they're missing a lot of key guys. But I don't think that changes this week. I think those key guys are still missing.
I believe so.
I don't think that anything changes there. And now they're going up against a Rams team that, Matthew Stafford can score at will.
Right.
So in my opinion, I think that the Rams put it on my Green Bay Packers.
Really? You think they put it on the Packers? You think Aaron Rodgers allows that to happen? Do you have a tissue that maybe we could borrow? Someone have a tissue? So you're adamant that they put it on him. It's not just a good game coming down to the wire.
So close, and Packers missed that field goal at the end. No.
Right.
Another thing. Suddenly Mason Crosby can't kick field goals.
I know. Matt Prater's the same way with the Cardinals. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. But, every week we talk about the Rams, and I'm like, this is the best team in the NFC, or not the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFC, and they just haven't shown it. Like, they find a way to just screw something up, and it's like they're subtracting from their team by adding all these players, and how do we figure this out, and how do we get everybody the ball, and it's just a very strange team. On paper, they're the best team in the NFL, right?
Talent-wise, yes, I would say so.
So have they not figured it out because they're trying to, share the wealth? Have they not figured it out because Stafford's maybe just not a winner?
Stafford?
Yeah, maybe he's just not a winner, I want to, with all my heart, say that the Rams take this game, especially after a bye week. But I am going to disagree with you. I don't think Rodgers loses 2 games in a row. I don't think Rodgers, after that game last week, I don't think he allows Green Bay to lose this game. I think it's the game of the week. I think it's quite possibly an NFC Championship kind of preview. Except for my Cardinals. But I think he finds a way.
How do you have 3 teams in the NFC Championship game?
You don't. Yeah.
So one of these is.
But I mean, like, if it wasn't both of those, it could be the Cardinals. Yeah. It was just simple math.
Yeah. Well, not so simple.
Yeah. Well, I should have maybe drawn a chart or something for you. Right.
Yeah.
Next time we can get like a whiteboard or something.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true. You are a wordsmith.
I
I like the Packers here. I like the Packers because I just don't have any faith in the Rams. I just don't.
And here's why you're wrong. They added these people, and they tried to incorporate with Von Miller and Odell Beckham. They added them, and they tried to incorporate during the season. All right, we'll get him in. Now they had a bye week.
Right.
So they had a bye week. Everyone had a little bit more rest. Everyone got a little bit healthier. They could already start game planning for the Packers.
Right.
And these 2 guys, Von Miller and Odell Beckham, although they're not the Von Miller and Odell Beckham of old,
right,
they are very talented, and now they can get them in to do the things. They can get them into the scheme of things. They can do packages for them, whatever they need to do. I think that they come on there and they add, especially Von Miller, Odell Beckham not so much to me, but especially Von Miller on that defensive line or playing outside backer with that defensive line. I think it's just going to be too much. The Packers are down another starting offensive lineman, gone for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So now they have 3 new offensive linemen. And you've got the beast there.
I don't know a single beast on the Packers team.
No, on the.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Gotcha. We're right here, you and I. Did you notice that?
Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about, but now I just figured it out.
You got these guys, and it's just, I think it's too much. I think that Aaron Rodgers spends the day running for his life.
Right.
Aaron Jones, I don't think is going to be back. If he is, he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah.
So you have A.J. Dillon, and while I love A.J. Dillon, he's not Aaron Jones.
They don't have the talent the Rams do. Right now,
No.
they don't have the talent that the Rams does.
So-
does. I'm not sure how that word is. But anyway, I think everything you just said is everything that everybody is talking about.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those games where it's the best quarterback wins.
You know what? I hope you're right.
Yeah.
You said Aaron Rodgers doesn't lose 2 games in a row.
Right.
He is an assassin, and I agree with all that.
You're still picking against your team.
I am picking against my team.
You must really want to beat me to pick against your team.
I'm not proud of it. I'm just, you know what? We have a responsibility here, Matt.
We do.
We have a responsibility to give them the truth, not emotional.
So that means when we get one wrong, that we're lying.
One of us lied.
Yes. We both get
So
it
I've
wrong.
lied
We're
more
both
than you.
lying. Yeah, you've lied substantially more than me. Not really. It's really just a game
like 2
here or
games.
there. Over the season, I think it's been 3 total.
Maybe 3.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
which
take
is
that.
a lot. That's
fine.
3 losses.
3
We
lies.
talked about this in the
Every
past.
lie is not cool.
So he's a liar, is what he's telling you, which
Pants
is
on fire.
not very nice.
You've also lied.
I have lied less than you, yes.
Right. It's not a
Oh
race
no!
to see who lied
It is
the
a
most.
race. Everything is
Any
a
lie
race.
is bad.
Everything is a competition.
All right. Vikings at the 49ers.
Another great game. I love this week.
Great game, you think?
A great game.
It'll be a close
A great
game.
matchup.
A great matchup.
Right.
I'll give you that. San Francisco is 1-4 at home this year.
I know it's weird.
Does that mean anything?
No.
The Vikings have played in 6 games decided by 4 points or less, and they are 2-4 in those.
Yeah.
Again, need a
Crazy
field goal
season.
kicker.
Yeah. Well, some weeks they have a field kicker, some weeks they don't. That's kind of been the thing for
I
them,
guess
right?
like 2 out of the 6 they did.
Which isn't good odds. Good numbers.
Last week they did.
That's correct. On a short one, barely about 5 feet inside the right upright. But a win's a win. So
Just enough.
you have no faith in the
get the win.
Vikings.
No, because I don't believe in the Vikings.
After they just beat your team pretty handily.
I don't think they beat my team as much as my team dropped the ball.
Oh no! Please don't use that line. Seriously,
I
you
think
can't use the line that the team didn't win the game, that my team lost the game. You can't.
You
use
gave
that line.
up 34 points
Because
to the
they
Vikings.
lost the game because they were not the better team on that day.
The Packers were coming off shutting out Seattle.
It doesn't mean anything.
Seattle
it's week in the NFL.
And the Vikings are 34 points better than the
No,
Seattle?
but again, it's week to week. It's week to week in the NFL. Minnesota's played well all year long. They've lost close ones. They won close ones. They've got the kind of team that'll keep you in every single game with that offense and those receivers and that run game.
I'd be willing to bet right now that the Minnesota Vikings do not make the playoffs.
Oh, I would agree with that too. I'm not saying that they'll make the playoffs. I'm just saying that
Playoffs?
Playoffs? We're talking playoffs. Sometimes you really show your age. I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you throw stuff out there that, like, the reference pre-show about the movie. I don't know if I can bring that up, but
The Hangover, I don't think we can say that.
No, we probably can't say
That
the
would
exact
be
thing you said.
inappropriate.
But
Yeah.
so you do not like the Vikings in this game?
No. I think the Niners beat them.
I agree.
I was gonna say something a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
But I'm going to go with the Niners beat them.
I think the Niners are
that
playing
they're
better.
1-4 at home.
Niners are playing better.
Absolutely.
They're looking more like they're like who they can be. I just don't, like you said, I don't trust Minnesota week to week to respond in a positive way. I think it's every other week, it seems like. I like that the Niners are figuring out how to get Kittle involved. I like that the Niners are, they see kind of that light at the end of the tunnel. Their team's getting better and better in a division that's probably the best division in football. Just the records don't show it. I think the Niners win this one pretty handily.
Okay.
Which is a real
That's
kind of a real negative reflection of how good your team is. That the Niners can beat Minnesota.
Again, week to week, anything can happen. Remember, my team beat yours as well.
I do not remember that.
You don't remember that?
I do not.
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago.
Oh, you know why we lost that game? Because
Okay,
we
this will be
lost
good.
the game, not because you beat us.
Oh, I hate it when people say that. All right, so we both are on the Niners.
Yes.
Good.
Ugh. Man.
This one, I don't know, man. Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's supposed to be back.
That's what I hear.
Baker Mayfield is injured.
He'll
be playing.
Right. That's normal.
Every guy on the Browns that is listed as a wide receiver is questionable.
And they all play quarterback too.
Yes.
In case you haven't been watching
Yes.
them lately.
So the strength to me of Cleveland right now is trying to run the ball.
It has been for years, right? Sure.
And they're going against the second-ranked rushing defense in the NFL.
Which is a healthy defense, which we don't get a lot of those right now this time of the year.
And they legitimately are stopping people. I know we talked about Tampa Bay's thing before. Tampa Bay builds a lead. The other team's got to throw the ball. That helps your run stats.
Right.
Baltimore is legitimately shutting people down defensively. I don't think that Cleveland has a chance in this game.
I don't disagree with you at all. Baltimore is figuring it out as they have all season. Cleveland's a wreck. I mean, is there? Can you spin one positive thing besides maybe Nick Chubb when he's healthy? Kareem Hunt might be coming back, maybe.
Possibly.
But I just can't find a single positive comment about the Browns, and it's not just because they're the Browns. They're dudes themselves.
Their fan base is awesome.
They do have a great fan base, and I actually like the Baker Mayfield commercials. I think those are
are really good.
Those are kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
Way better than that quarterback guy that did this thing all the
All
time.
right, so
Yeah, so I like Baltimore. I like their run game. I like their run defense. I like the fact that they're learning how to throw the ball a little bit. If Jackson comes back, I think it's a no-brainer in Baltimore.
I agree.
All right.
We've only disagreed on one game, and it
I
was
know.
my team.
Well, I'm just going to disagree on all the rest of them down the list.
Okay.
We're going to disagree on this one.
Seattle at the Washington football team. This is Monday night's game. The wonderful, powerful powerhouse Russell Wilson and the Seattle offense has scored 13 points in the last 2 games.
Well, they have played some really phenomenal teams in that stretch.
Who did they play again?
See, last week they played the Cardinals.
And then the week
so
before
that's
that?
the best team in the game. And the week before that, was it Green Bay?
It was Green
was
Bay
Green
that shut them
It
out.
was Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did shut them out.
That's right. I remember that
Yep.
now. Washington defense is playing great. Seattle offense is
Yeah.
So this is a pretty easy one, right?
This is not an easy one. Russell Wilson's looked horrible, right, since his return. I mean, he just doesn't even look like himself. They can't figure things out on offense.
They show him coming off the field, and every time they show him coming off the field, it's like, I don't know what was just going on out there, but I need to go over and regroup.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's there.
Yeah.
Like the whole preseason talk about, he's got to find a new home, and they're going to get rid of him, they're going to move on from him. It's almost like he was up for that. Like, that was okay with him. He just hasn't bought into whatever's happening. Seattle's a mess. Pete Carroll is a mess. Their receivers, as talented as they are, especially Metcalf, is just a mental mess. Wilson's hurt. The defense isn't producing. It's a team that just has lost their identity, and they win this week. That's how I feel about that one. We're going to disagree on this one. Everybody's picking Washington. Washington's defense is playing better. Heineke can handle the game. It's at home. All this kind of good stuff. I don't think so here. I think Seattle figures a way to beat Washington on the road. I do. I feel like this is the game that maybe we see kind of some of the Seattle that we saw last year, the year before that. I'm not spilling over with confidence about that, but I'm going to pick Seattle here.
Well,
you're going to agree with me. We thought this was the one. I thought this was going to be like
too. But I go back to your Aaron Rodgers comments.
Okay.
I can't see Russell Wilson playing 3 crappy games in a row and allowing his team to fall 3 times in a row, unless they were playing Green Bay, Arizona, the Rams.
Right.
But I think that he bounces back. I think they figure it out. I don't know if it was he came back too early or what, and he's still just kind of getting there.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I also agree with you on
this is amazing. This is like 3 weird. I agree with you.
You know what? It's the Thanksgiving.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
You're
giving thanks for me.
For you, yes.
Thanks for me. I like
that. I don't get what the mentality is in Seattle. Why do we have so many problem children come through there? You had the Richard Sherman and all those guys, and they started to filter out, and everything seemed to be getting better. And now DK Metcalf, every time that anybody touches him, he wants to fight.
Every time. That comes from your head coach, right?
Right.
So as much as we love Pete Carroll,
right?
Yeah, it has to be. As much as we love Pete Carroll, he's a player's coach, all that kind of good stuff. That's the type of environment that you breed from that type of coach. And we'll take them all. Come this way, and we're a team. We'll figure it out. And we're wild children, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But they have to figure that out if they're going to be successful. I think at the end of the year, when push comes to shove, I think Pete Carroll's done. I think Seattle goes into a rebuild. But for this week, I don't like Washington without a Chase Young.
Yeah.
I don't like.
That's the toughest part.
Yeah, I don't like who they are against Seattle. If Seattle can stop the run game from Washington, I think Seattle wins this game.
I would say that if Chase Young were there, I would pick Washington.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Seattle.
Okay, awesome.
All right. This, I think, is going to be a fun game. I just really hope it's a fun game because this is during prime.
Yeah.
I just ate, and I need to watch.
This is the pre-just eating, I thought. Isn't the night game?
This is 4:30.
That's the early game, right? The mid game.
No, this is the mid game.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant because what time do you eat Thanksgiving dinner?
Like 3.
Are you one of those people?
Yeah.
It's called dinner. It's called Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
4:30 maybe is breaking the. No, you can't just break the rules.
Yeah, it's too late for lunch.
That's then what's lunch? What's linner is what you're having.
Linner.
You're having linner.
Then I'm fine having linner.
Okay, so enjoy your Thanksgiving
Don't judge
linner.
me for my
I'm
linner.
not judging you. I just think that you should be traditional.
So I eat, sit down, watch this.
Right.
This game is over. Now I have some pie.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have some more stuffing or something.
Okay. And then
in the evening.
And then after the game, you're hungry. The last game, you're hungry again. So what do you do then? You eat leftovers, or are you done for the night?
No, I'll eat. It's Thanksgiving dinner. I can eat whatever I
eat
want.
Whatever you want. But you look at that physique thing happening right there, and you'll know he doesn't eat a ton during the day.
That's right.
I didn't need the muscle thing. I was just talking about the weight loss. Just
right.
The general weight loss.
All right.
But whatever.
Sorry, I wasn't sure where we were going.
So after you
Raiders
have Leonard,
at the Cowboys.
Right after you have Leonard, Cowboys game.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna pick the extra stuffing out of my mustache and watch.
That's a hot thought. I'm sure
watch
I'm sure if Maria's watching
the
this,
Raiders
she's like, yeah.
yeah, that's my guy. Watch the Raiders at the Cowboys. So I just read. Somebody read to me. Amari Cooper is out.
He's still out because he's
COVID-19.
unvaccinated. 10 days, he's out.
And CeeDee Lamb is still very, very much doubtful that he's going to clear concussion protocol in the morning.
I've heard that.
So you have Dak with
Michael Gallup, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, number 1, whatever his name is. I just see him scatting around all over the
scurrying
field.
all over the place. And they're going against the Raiders, who I really was hoping would be able to bounce back up. They've lost 3 in a row. This morning I saw a thing on this game, and the last 2 weeks, the Raiders each time were only able to convert 1 third down.
Wow.
Last week they were 1 for 7. I don't remember what it was a week before. And now you've got them trying to go up against that defense with Micah Parsons and Diggs back there, who Diggs, I think, has an interception every game that he's ever played in his entire life. It's
including
ridiculous.
Pop Warner. And Dallas's defense is why they win this game. This is not the game everybody thinks it is, that, Dallas is high-powered offense, and the Raiders will put it together, and they can throw the ball around, and they can score points too. This is a game won by Dallas's defense this week. With the injuries, with the hot mess that the Raiders are, this is a game that Dallas's defense is the reason why they win this game. I'm not saying they won't score points, but this is not your linear game, shootout that I think some people look at the schedule and say that's what it's going to be. Dallas's defense is playing pretty well. Even in their losses, they're playing pretty well. I think they figure out a way to beat the Raiders, and I think they do it handily, 10, 14 points.
They're playing well, and they're going up against a team that is really struggling. And Derek Carr, when he's struggling, has a tendency to throw the ball all over the place. They are -4 in their last couple of losses in the turnover ratio, and you're going against a stud defense on top of that.
Right.
So even if you were plus, you're going against a stud defense. I think it's going to get ugly quick for the Raiders. I was really hoping it would be a good game. Maybe I'll just stay at the dinner table a little bit longer.
It's not a dinner table. It's a dinner table for you.
Maybe I'll stay
Let's get this straight.
at the dinner table.
Okay, the dinner table it is.
All right. See, I don't count these into our
deal?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
All right.
disagreed on one game.
We don't count those at all? Those other games? These are the most important games of the week. This is the make or break games right
I
here.
don't count these because we don't really spend a whole lot of
If
time.
you beat me
getting
one
them.
week, you'll probably count them, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
All right.
All right, ready.
Speed round.
And go.
Panthers at the Dolphins.
Dolphins. We're supposed to talk about it too. I always forget.
Well,
Or probably
we don't
crush
have
for
to.
time
If
a
there's
little bit.
anything we need to. But
Miami's playing better. Carolina's not. I'm not a believer in Cam Newton. I know he brings a different dimension, but I like the way Miami's defense is playing. I like Miami.
Cam.
Yeah, exactly.
Miami's defense has allowed just 12 points a game through 3 straight victories.
They've been playing well. They're figuring some stuff out.
I agree with you, Dolphins.
All right.
Eagles at the Giants.
Well, it's just hard to say the word Giants, isn't it?
Yes.
This is terrible.
Can we change their name?
Yeah, we could. We could probably do that. We can call them wasn't there a movie Little Giants?
Little
We can
Giants.
call them New York Little Giants. How's that sound?
Philadelphia Eagles. Well, isn't your dad going to get mad?
You know what? Not at this point, I don't think. I think he's figured it out.
The names he's used are a lot worse.
That's right.
All right.
Eagles.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Falcons at the Jags.
Jags.
Okay, we disagree.
Okay, good. So that's 2 games.
Falcons.
Okay. All right.
And Jets at the mighty Houston Texans.
Yeah, so Wilson's back. All the other quarterbacks are in protocol. First game back. Tyrod Taylor's playing better. I like Houston.
Houston's on a winning streak.
I like Houston. That's got to be the worst game. Didn't we have who do we have? Did we have Houston Detroit a couple weeks ago or
Yeah.
something? This is like another rematch of that, I guess.
This
but I
should
like
be
Houston.
great.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and watch it. Yeah, first thing it says, draft order will be a topic of conversation in this game. Absolutely it will.
In week 12.
Loser is on the clock.
Right, in week 12.
Yep. All right, that should do it.
That should do it.
Anything we missed? I don't think so.
I don't think
Great
so.
detail on everything.
It is Thanksgiving week, so happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
of course.
happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and to everybody watching.
Yep.
I didn't mention that this is brought to you by Anderson Ford. I missed that at the beginning.
That's
so
right.
that check may not
Right
be in the mail.
there.
Wow, very
Right.
good.
Did you see how I do that? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I always do it the wrong hand. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, if you do it wrong the first time, there's only one other way to go, right? And so you just kind of
You would
back
think,
out. Yeah.
but I-
yeah. Like if
like,
you go this
oh, I
way,
went the wrong
that would
way.
work too, really,
Oh.
I guess. But this way wouldn't really work. Oh, went wrong direction. Okay.
It's over
sorry.
here.
So that's a lot of fun, the whole green screen thing. Maybe we could put a cardinal thing back there next to the Anderson No, not an option.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Matt, thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your
It's been
dinner.
a lot of, thank you. And you enjoy your dinner, I guess.
Whatever you want to call it. I'm going to eat all day long.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks.